Welcome to another Monday Mindset. Looking at Insurance Syndicate, I realized that my post last week didn't go up, so totally missed the Monday Mindset last week. But I want to talk to you guys today about one trait that I see being, I would say, the most powerful trait to become an incredible salesperson. So everybody's in sales, whether you know it or not. You are in sales, whether you're a software developer, an accountant, an actual sales professional. You're all in sales. I think there was a great entrepreneur who ended up leading the School of Business for, I think it was Chicago University. And he said, every department better realize that they are the sales department. Everybody is selling something. So I run a company called Reminder Media, as you guys know. Sales is the heart of what we do. We used to have this saying all the time that we still use today, which is sales isn't everything, it's the only thing. If you don't have sales, you don't have an exchange of value. At best, you have a charity, but more than likely you have a hobby if you have no sales. And I tend to meet with our sales team, all the new hires that come in, because we're hiring every month, and I try to meet with them their second week on the job and share with them, hey, the reason why I'm meeting you is because you're the heartbeat of the organization. If you imagine like a wheel, you have the hub and all the spokes come out, they're connected to the hub. If you didn't have that hub, the wheel would just collapse as you ride on it. And that doesn't mean that there's not importance in these other departments and they're not needed. It's all needed to create the wheel. You need software, accounting, you need all these things. But if you don't have the hub, which is sales, you do not have a company. You must have sales. So what makes people great at sales? What trait do you need? I read this at our 5 a.m. Club this morning, and it was a quote. It said, you can't sell others if you aren't sold yourself first. So I'll read that again. The quote is, you can't sell others if you aren't sold yourself first. And I think that's a Zig Ziglar saying, that you must believe in what you're selling. Zig Ziglar, one of the greatest sales trainers, a lot of great stuff out there. Go watch his stuff. But you have to be sold and believe in what you're selling. Like when we're calling upon insurance agents, or we're calling upon real estate agents or small businesses to sign up for our marketing programs, a lot of times we catch you guys when you're in the car. And we get down, we're giving you our 15-minute pitch and we're walking you through everything, and you've been on the phone with us for 15, 20 minutes, and we get down to the credit card and we ask you to sign up for this, and we ask you what billing information you need to use, and you tell us you're driving. I tell my team to tell you how much, I tell people you got to believe in what you're selling. I tell them you got to look at them right there. Oh, you're driving? Hey, be real safe. Go ahead and find a spot to pull over. We'll get this taken care of. And I said, you got to be willing to ask somebody to pull over to the side of the road. Why? Because you believe so much in what we're presenting and what we're going to do for their business, that the inconvenience and the annoyance of pulling over to the side of the road, because it is annoying to have to do that, to give me your billing information, you will look back on Monday, September 23rd at 10:04 and say, I'm so grateful that Luke Acree annoyed me enough to pull over to the side of the road, because I signed up for Reminder Media, which got my marketing going in the right direction, which produced leads for me, which ultimately produced closes, which got me commission checks in my bank account, which allowed me to send my kids to the schools I want them to go on the vacations I want to go to, meaning it allowed me to succeed in my life. You have to believe in the products and services that you're bringing to the table so much that you're willing, whatever your objection is. For me, maybe it's your driving. I got to get you to pull over to the side of the road to give me billing information to get started, because I can't help you if we don't get started. I can't help you if the sale doesn't happen, right? There's no exchange of value. It's just almost a waste of time. It's just info giving without an exchange of value of the sale taking place. So you have to have a belief. Now, here's what I wanted to share this morning. How do you get belief in what you're selling? How do you get belief? There's probably a myriad of ways to get belief, but I tell my team, man, there's two ways you can influence your belief right out of the gate here at Reminder Media, and I believe this applies to your business and selling insurance. One is you get belief by testimony, meaning we believe in things because we've seen them work, because we've seen stories, we've seen the history of them work. And so we have faith in them because of the history, because of the testimony. You go to an airport, you watch planes take off. If 9 out of 10 planes crashed, you wouldn't get into an airplane. But because there's history and testimony of planes that maybe you don't understand the physics, and you don't understand actually how this hunk of metal can go from point A to point B, but you've seen it work time and time again. You've met people that have gotten into a plane, that you actually have faith enough to get into a plane. That's the reality, is you have belief built on testimony. So if I'm you and I'm going to sell a product, and I'm going to, share a product with somebody. Maybe you're selling Medicare, or maybe you're doing annuities, or maybe you're doing property casualty. If I'm you, I would want to influence my belief in the product that I'm selling by talking to people and understanding the history behind this product and how it has actually helped people, how it actually changes lives, how it actually delivers on solving a pain point or getting them an achieved desired result that they want. And I would then want to take those stories and make sure I share them in my presentation to people, because people want to know that you can help them get from point A to point B. And the best way to showcase that to them is not dumping on them all the features, is by sharing with them real life stories of people that it has helped. Let's go to the history books. Let me go to the testimony. Here's where Susan was at. This is what we did for her. This is what the product did for her. And this is what she achieved and the results she got from using our products and services. That helps convince people. So you have to have belief in what you're selling. Belief comes from testimony. So if I'm you, man, I would memorize the testimonies. What's up, Lily? Good to see you. Good morning. Hope you're having a great Monday. Welcome to Monday Mindset. Second way you influence belief, for those who are just joining, we're talking about, the key to sales. What's the number one key to sales? My belief is you have to believe in what you're selling. Because if you don't believe in what you're selling, you will never convince others. The most certain person wins. The most certain person wins. If you're more certain that this person should use your product and they are certain that they shouldn't, you will eventually earn their business. The most certain person wins. That comes from your belief. How are you influencing your belief? First way is through testimony. Get the testimony. Second way you influence belief, this is my opinion, is I think you influence belief through preparation. I think confidence comes from competence. Competence comes from actual knowledge. Knowledge comes from preparation, right? When you think about Tom Brady, when you think about the greatest athletes of all time, they've spent hours and hours in the film room studying, practicing, refining their craft, building their knowledge. A specialist in business always outsells a generalist. A specialist, someone who knows the intimate details, that speaks the language, that understands the pain points in the life of their prospect. A specialist will always outperform a generalist. A generalist stays high level, is very broad. A specialist can talk specifically to a certain feature or a pain point that they solve. You have to become the specialist. You don't become a specialist without preparation. And you got to put in the work. You got to get into your literal film room. How much film are you watching? Meaning, how many presentations have you filmed of yourself and doing your sales presentation? How many of those have you watched back to refine how you look, how you sound, the words that you're using? How much time have you spent in the film room listening to your calls and refining your presentation? Right? So you've got to have preparation, not just in watching your presentation and refining your sales script and all that good stuff. You also have to have preparation in your knowledge. What are you reading? You guys hear me often talk. This is Monday Mindset, so I talk about it often, is how are you setting up yourself for success in your body, mind, and spirit? Who are you hanging around? Who are you listening to? What are you reading? What are you watching? These things influence your thought patterns. Your thought patterns influence how you talk and act. How you talk and act eventually becomes your habits. Your habits define your character. Your character is ultimately who you are. If you want to be incredible at sales, you have to influence your belief. If you want to influence your belief, it comes from your preparation. I'm a musician. I thought I was going to be a musician for the longest time in my life. I had a band with my brothers. I play piano. I play guitar. I sing. When I get out there to play piano, when I get out there on stage, I get nervous. The result of me getting nervous is my heart rate goes up, right? And my hands start to shake a little bit. When you're playing the keys and your hands are shaking a little bit, it's easy to hit a wrong note. There's this beautiful thing that happens when you actually practice and prepare before you go out on stage. If I actually memorize and prepare and practice the song, it gets into my muscle memory. And when I get out there on stage and my heartbeat's going like this and my hands start to shake a little bit, guess what takes over? My muscle memory takes over when I play on stage if I've put in enough preparation. If you've put in enough preparation in the film room of your script, of your pitch, when you get the objection that I'm driving, now you guys might not get that objection, but that's what I get with my sales team. If you've practiced overcoming it over and over and over and over again, and you know the logic behind why you're asking them to pull over, and you have the belief that this will actually change their life, you can deliver it with confidence. You can deliver it with authenticity. You can deliver it in a way that influences the belief of the prospect on the other end of the phone to go, you know what, this is annoying, but I'm going to give this person a chance. Because, man, they're so passionate about what they're doing. You got to understand, right, there's this technique, matching and mirroring, right, in sales. Well, ultimately what that comes down to is you want to match and mirror to build rapport, But then you want to do this thing called pacing, where you're starting to pace up and set the tone and the passion and the energy for what you're bringing to the table. Ultimately, the belief. You're trying to influence their belief. I think it was Ed Milet who said something powerful one time, where he said, it's not getting that prospect to believe that in what you're selling. It's getting to believe that you believe in what you're selling. Because if they believe that you believe it, they're going to follow you and do it. Versus them having to believe in it. Well, how much can they believe in something that they're just learning about in a 15-minute time frame? They're ultimately always going to have this fear of the unknown because they haven't put their profession and their life into this. So they have to trust, they have to have faith. So who are they going to have faith in the stuff that's unknown to them? Yeah, it sounds good, but I'm not really sure this works. I haven't really done my research, and I don't really have time to do my research and all the products that you're doing and showcasing to me. So what do they have to believe in? They have to believe that you believe in what you're selling. They have to believe that you're evangelistic about it, that you're passionate about it. That's the key to sales. To me, I think the key to sales is you got to believe in what you're selling. And you can only believe in what you're selling if you influence your belief by the testimony and the history of how this product and service helps people. You've got to know those things and be able to share them and share those stories. Stories sell, features tell, as they say. And then you've got to influence your belief by preparation. Because if you're prepared, when I get out on stage, if I'm prepared to play the piano and I've practiced it, then I have competence because my muscle memory takes over and I can actually deliver. But so often we all want to make $200,000 a year, $300,000 a year, but yet we don't practice even 30 minutes a day on our presentation. You know, if you practice 30 minutes a day on your presentation, 365 days a year, it's a couple hundred hours a year. If you Google how long it takes to master something, it takes 10,000 hours supposedly to master something in your life. Be a violinist, to be a master violinist, it takes 10,000 hours. So if you just practice 30 minutes a day, which is more than what most people do for their sales profession, it will take you years to just master your sale. So how much are you putting in the work? Think about Kobe Bryant. What is he famous for? Kobe Bryant was famous for waking up super early, 3, 4 a.m. and doing extra workouts. If you wake up at 5 a.m. every single day, 365 days a year, I think you gain 30 days on your competition in terms of time that you can put into your craft. Wake up early, get up 5 a.m., put in some work of practicing your profession, become a specialist, not just a generalist. I believe it will change your business, ultimately change your life. All right, there you go. That's my rant this morning. Monday Mindset, baby. Good to see you, Joe. Like I said, guys, number one key to sales is you got to believe in what you're selling. How do you influence your belief? You got to know the testimony of how your products and services actually help people and have those stories to share. And you got to have preparation. You got to be in the film room. Every major athlete, musician, business person that is anything worth their salt in their craft, they have put in the hours and hours of practice. They have the preparation. Let's go make it happen for ourselves, for our clients, for our family. Let's make it a great week. Happy Monday. Let's go.